Okay, Jorge, I think we can start now.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Um, we're going to be talking about accident wise and also critical ills,
Yeah, critical guard, critical illness,
critical
correct.
guards. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Okay, go ahead, Jorge.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all of those that are joining us this afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jorge Baste. I am the sales director for the Hispanic market with United Health One. We've done many trainings for you guys over the last couple of years. And today we're going to go over accident wise and critical guard. We've done these trainings before, but I think it's a good time to do a refresher. And if you're not familiar with a plan, hopefully you'll learn something new today, be able to offer this to your clients before another agent steps in and tries to offer it to them prior to you being able to do that. Okay, just a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. I've been in the insurance industry for over 30 years, 25 plus years. I was an agent just like you guys. So I've probably encountered just about every situation you can encounter. And hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips, some questions you can use with your clients to open up the conversation to talk about some of these products. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start. First product we're going to look at here is Accident Wise. Accident Wise is our accident policy. We also have something called our Accident Pro Guard policy, which is a little different, but this is our true accident policy, Accident Wise. Issue ages up to age, well, it's from 18 up until age 75. Of course, you can add dependents. Parents are able to add dependents under the age of 18 to coverage if they wish to do so. Okay. Something very important about all of our products. We do not require a social security number. We do not require any type of documentation for that matter. Okay. So if you have someone that does not have a social security number, they can definitely apply to this. There are no medical questions. This is a guarantee issue policy. It's an accident policy. Maximum issue age, as I mentioned earlier, is up to age 75. So if you do work in the over 65 market, you can definitely sell this. The premium on this product is exactly the same whether you're 18 years old or you're 75 years old. Okay. Age does not affect the premium. So let's go ahead and take a look quickly at what our benefits are. We have three plans. We've got our plan 10,000, our plan 15,000, and our plan 20,000. The best seller is the plan 15,000. Benefit, the premium, it is the best option. Okay, bar none. Now, these plans here, your client, depending on their needs and what they choose, of course, they can pick one of three. The way the plan works is hospital admission. If your client, or maybe even yourself, you might buy this plan for yourself. If you're admitted to the hospital due to an accident, one time per year, we're going to pay anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000. Okay, depending on the option the client chooses. Emergency room, we will cover emergency room 4 times a year, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000. Urgent care, same thing, up to 4 times a year, 200 to 400. Major diagnostic, 1,000 to 2,000, depending on the plan the client picks, and that is covered 1 time per year. Remember, all of this is due to an accident. This is an accident policy. Very important. Follow-up treatment and follow-up physical therapy, you're going to get up to 5 visits each policy year with each one of these. So you'll get 5 for follow-up treatment. You will get another 5 for physical therapy. It's between $100 to $200 per visit. Outpatient surgery, 1 time per year. If you need outpatient surgery due to an accident, $1,000 to $2,000. Okay, and that's going to pay 1 time per year. Accidental, and this is a very interesting additional, I like to think of it as a second coverage that this policy covers. Accidental loss of life, limb, or sight. So there is an AD&D benefit that's going to run anywhere between 10,000 to 20,000. If the client dies due to an accident, we'll pay out these amounts, 10,000 to 20,000, depending on which option they picked. And of course, that only pays one time. That would go to the beneficiary. Okay. One other thing on this policy, which I forgot to mention earlier, we do not, I repeat, we do not coordinate benefits. What that means is when your client goes ahead and files a claim, we're going to pay him the full amount. Whatever services are entailed here or whatever services were performed, they file they file the claim form, and we pay them 100% of the benefit directly to them. They can use that money to pay for medical bills. They can use it to pay for rent. They can use it to pay for whatever it may be, car payments, etc. One good question to ask your client, you might want to write this down, to open the conversation for this policy. It's a very, very simple question is, if you are hospitalized due to an accident, do you have the money to cover your deductible? Or do you have the money to pay for your expenses if you cannot work for a month or two after you get out of the hospital? Would a lump sum of up to $20,000 help? Okay, those are just some selling questions you can use to open up the conversation. Every single person has a need for an accident policy. Unfortunately, an accident can happen to anyone. Okay, there are no medical questions on this policy. Okay, it's a guarantee issue. Here are the premiums. The plan, our best seller, is going to be less than $1 a day. And you can explain it just like that to your client. For less than $1 a day, you will get these benefits. Now, if your client is already applying for some other coverages with United Health One, for example, let's say they're doing the Health Protector Guard, which is a very, very popular plan right now, and it is one of our best sellers. We did that training last time. I'm sure we'll do it again in probably the next month or two. So let's say they're applying for that and they have a limited budget, and they simply tell you, I definitely have the need for an accident policy, as you know, everybody does, but I can't afford to pay, that much right now. This is your solution. Approximately 50 cents a day gets them this policy here. And if your client says, hey, listen, I want the best option, or um, they're interested in getting the highest payout, this would be the solution right here. Okay, so this is our accident policy. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, next we're going to look at our critical guard policy. Critical guard will cover, we have 4 policies, you're going to see them in the next screen, but this policy here is another one, like any of our policies, that does not require a social security number. We actually don't need a social security number for any of our policies. Okay, so no social security number is needed. This one actually has an issue age of up to age 90. So if you have clients in the over 65 market, or you do so in the over 65 market, this is a great product. There is a huge need for this product. Okay, just about everybody, unfortunately, has a family history of either cancer, heart and stroke, or other critical conditions. It's just a fact of life, unfortunately. So what this policy does is it pays a lump sum amount up to $100,000 per category if you were to be diagnosed with a certain condition, if you had a heart attack, or whatever the case may be, depending on which option you choose. All of our policies can be effective the very next day. Okay, so you can get a next day effective date with all of our policies: accident, critical, guard, health protector guard, our hospital wise, our life insurance, all of them. Okay, our dental as well. So anyways, let's take a look at the benefits here. Well, before we do that, let's look at some questions. How do you open up the conversation to talk about critical illness? There's a bunch of, I mean, there's, you can come up with questions, right? These are very generic. The one I like to use that I used as an agent was very simple. I would simply ask the client, is there a history of cancer, heart and stroke, or any other critical conditions in your family? The reason I ask is because those conditions many times are genetic, and unfortunately, they can, you know, you may be diagnosed with something, or you may have a heart attack depending on your family history. Would a lump sum payment of up to $100,000 help ease the burden if you cannot work due to you're under cancer treatment, or you had a heart attack, came out of the hospital, can't work for 2 months? Would that help pay your meet your needs, pay your rent, pay your car, pay your medical bills, etc.? These policies are not difficult to sell. They're not difficult to sell at all once you let the person know that they have a need for it, because they will realize once you start asking them questions. Here are a couple more questions. Who do you know? Most everybody knows somebody who's been diagnosed with cancer, had a heart attack, or been diagnosed with any other medical condition. Was it expected? No one expects to have a heart attack. No one expects to get a cancer diagnosis. Did it create emotional or financial stress? I think you know the answer to that. Yes. Okay. So, um, again, you're going to need money to hopefully meet your needs if something like this should occur. Would a lump sum check have helped ease the burden? I think we know the answer to that. Yes. Okay. So these are questions you can use. Very, very simple questions. You can come up with your own questions. Once you start asking these questions, which is not difficult to ask during the sales process, um, you're going to show that client more than likely that they have a need. Like I said, just about everybody has a need. Okay. Beatriz, can you please put yourself on mute? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. Now, here are the four options that are available. We've got four plans to choose from. Plan one, you're looking, it's only going to cover cancer. Plan two is going to concentrate on heart and stroke. Plan three, cancer and heart and stroke. And plan four is going to cover cancer, heart and stroke, and other critical conditions. Okay, there are some additional benefits down here. You can study the brochure. I highly suggest you look at the brochure just to get a lot more familiarized, because we're just doing a quick overview here. This is our bestseller. This is the one I suggest. You're going to see how economical this policy can be for your client. By the way, the commissions on these, very high percentage on these commissions. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. And you will find that most, if not all, your clients have a need for this policy. So that's our critical guard policy. Oops, that's pretty much it as far as I'm going to cover for the products. We're going to now go into the, let me just get out of here real quick. We're going to go into the portal, which I hope is, no, that's not it. That's the wrong one. Here it is. Okay. This is our portal, or your agent portal, better said. Those of you that are contracted, and I really hope everybody that's in this training right now is contracted, because if you're not, you're going to miss immediate sales that you can literally make today. Okay. On this product and many more that we have. So if you're not currently contracted, get contracted as soon as possible. Contact Carmen or the contracting department at Sunshine Life and Health and get contracted as soon as possible. There's a lot coming down in the next couple of months. Actually, it's already here, where specifically for ACA, right? There's a lot of changes coming. So we have products that are alternatives for that. Our Health Protector Guard, we're not really talking about that one today, but I already see agents. Everybody is presenting that to their clients. You don't want someone to come in and present it to your client prior to you. So definitely, if you're not contracted, get contracted immediately. If you're already contracted, think of those people that have a need for what we're talking about today and some of our other products, and contact them right away. There are agents out there that are just, I tell you because I see it. I've heard from many agents that other agents have been calling on their clients and unfortunately have sold them some policies and, they're trying to take their health insurance as well and some other stuff. So just word of caution, be prepared and be vigilant and make sure you're prepared with all of our products so you can offer it to your clients. Again, this is your agent portal. How do you get here? I'm not sure if you can see this on your screen. uh1.com/broker. Okay, that's going to obviously you put in your credentials, you get in here. If you are contracted and have done policies with us or at least quoted, this will look very familiar. If you have not, this might be new to you. Get a quote. You want to get a quote? It's pretty obvious right there. You can go in through here or you can come in through Instant Quote. I'm going to go over a couple of things here and then we're going to do a sample quote and show you how easy it is to enroll. Okay. My business. Under this tab, you have the prospect list. This is a very powerful tool that we include in here. Why do we do that? This is a list of all those people you've quoted and sent them the quote and they haven't signed up yet, or they started the application, didn't finish it. You spent a lot of time figuring out what is the best plan for them based on their needs. Don't let that sale get away from you. All you have to do is follow up. Chances are you're going to close that sale. You have the prospect list. Use it. Okay. My business, my business summary. This is basically your book of business. Okay. These are your list of clients with policy numbers and much more information, as well as if you're selling a Health Protector Guard, which is a very popular product right now. If you are selling that product, you can actually get your client's temporary ID card here and email it to them. Okay, keep that in mind. Licensing and commissions. Where do I look at my commission statement? Right there. What states am I contracted in or am I appointed in? You can look at that right there. I need to get appointed in some additional states. You can do that right here. Add your appointments. My account. This is mostly going to go over broker incentives. What are our bonus plans? I'm going over that right after we finish showing you how to enroll on one of these policies or how to enroll a client. So you will see that a little bit later. Brochures, sales tools, and training. Where do I find the brochures? Where do I find additional sales tools? Right here. Come in here. Here you go. You select the state. I think most of you are probably in Florida. So we pick Florida. And as soon as you do that, you're going to see all the brochures. We have them in English. We have them in Spanish. Study them. Learn these products. Present these products to your client before somebody else does. Okay, because they're selling. Agents are out there and can't tell you how many contract requests we've gotten recently. Okay. Okay, so you have that. Down here, you've got more information. Okay. By the way, critical illness, which I forgot to mention, we do have some guarantee issue levels, which you'll see in just a minute. Okay. So you've got, here's a flyer on Critical Guard. This is a 2-page flyer. You can use it. We have the accident-wise flyer, another 2-page you can use. You have the brochures, of course, up here, right? So you have a lot more information down here. Get acquainted with this section of the portal. The more you know, the easier it is to sell, the easier it is to answer your clients' questions, the easier it is to meet their needs or know what product is going to meet their needs. Okay. We go back up. If you want to limit this to, let's say, just the accident policy, accident wise, here you go. There's accident wise. Here's a brochure in Spanish if you need it. Right up here, another very powerful tool we provide you is this. You can create a quoting link, which you can email, text, send via social media, or put on your website if you have a website, where a client or a potential client can go in, quote himself or herself, apply without you having to do anything, and you're going to get credit for it. Don't let this go by the wayside. Use it. Use it. Get it out to everybody. If anything, if you send it out and maybe they don't do it on their own, but it's going to possibly trigger them to call you or contact you. Hey, tell me more about this, or what exactly is this? There you go. Use this tool. Very powerful. Webinars on demand. I'm going to go in here. All of our products are here. These are webinars that explain exactly how the products, how the plans work, benefits, etc. They're all here. Here's Critical Guard. We looked at this one today. Keep going down. Here's Accident Wise. And of course, there's a lot more. Okay. So you have all of your videos, what we call brain sharks, in here. Let's now go and do a sample application. I'm going to come in here, quoting an application, instant quote. And one thing I will tell you, if you need to do this process in Spanish, we have 3 states where you can do that. Florida, Texas, and Arizona. Once I put in this zip code, this is going to show up in any one of those 3 states. Okay, so if you want to do this in Spanish, you just click here. You will continue the whole process in Spanish. We're going to continue in English. Let's say we have a male, age 40. Oops. Is that it? Okay, got it. Male, age 40. Dependents, pretty obvious. Put that information here. You need to add a child, you do that. As soon as you start scrolling down, you're going to start seeing our plans. Yes, we have a short-term medical plan. I highly suggest that you sell this program right here. I know we're not talking about it right now. This is our Enhanced Health Protector Guard. We did this training last time because a short-term medical plan only has 3-month coverage and can only be renewed for 1 month. It's 4 months only. Okay, and that's due to an executive order that was issued September 1st of last year, 2024. Okay, and that applies to every single insurance company that sells short-term medical. So this is your solution right here if you're looking for a medical plan. Has some limitations. We've covered that before, but let's go ahead and go to what we were talking about. Okay, we're talking about accident wise. I'm going to go ahead and pick all 3 of them. Right. We were also talking about here the Accident Pro Series. Okay, these are good options that you can learn. They're a little different, but you will have clients that might be good prospects for this. Okay, or good clients for that. Critical Guard, like I said, we have the 4 options. I'm only going to pick one. And the only reason I picked this one is because it covers all 3: cancer, heart and stroke, and other critical illnesses. Okay, and the difference in premium is minimal. What else? Let's go ahead and keep going down. We have our term life policy here. You will see that when we get into the application, the client will have the option to tag on, or you can actually tag on some other products while, right before you start that application. So keep that in mind. Okay, you'll see that in just a minute. Hospital wise, this is a training we've done in the past. These 3 plans, we're not looking at them today, are all guarantee issue, no medical questions. Very powerful plan. Okay, we've got some other plans here that we're not looking at today. We'll do that in the future. Let's go ahead and view what we just picked. And you're going to see how easy it is to enroll this. Okay, I picked all 3 accident plans. I normally suggest you start with the top one. You basically start talking to the client, hey, listen, this is our best option, and it's going to pay you $20,000 if you're hospitalized. It's got coverage for emergency room up to 4 times a year, urgent care, 4 times a year. Well, you saw all the benefits when we went over that, right? So this one is going to run $44.20 a month. If your client says, hey, listen, I have a need, but I want to, kind of keep my budget in line, then you go on to the next one. No problem. We have this one. This is our best seller. This is our accident wise plan, 15,000. We already went over the benefits, so you know those benefits. Okay, and this one's going to cost you less than $1 a day. Say that. Less than $1 a day. That helps you. Shows you the value you're giving them. If for whatever reason the client does not want to go with this option, then you tell them, listen, the best thing you can do is get some type of accident coverage. This is a great policy. This one's going to run you, our accident wise 10,000 is going to run you approximately 50 cents a day. You already know the benefits. We've already gone over those. Okay, so we're going to add this one to cart. If you need to look at some of the details on the plan, what it covers, you can do that right here. I know we just did that during the presentation, but that same information is right here. And if you need to edit something, it's right there as well. So let's add this to cart. Okay, and then lastly, these are the only two products we're looking at today, but you're going to see that we'll have some additional things we can add on in a minute. Critical illness, critical guard. Critical illness is the policy it's going to cover heart, heart and stroke, cancer, and other critical conditions. Look at the premium. Let's go in here real quick. You want to look at the brochure, you can do that, but let's go in here real quick. That's the monthly premium. Okay, very economical. This is your benefit, $5,000. Now that $5,000 actually goes a lot further than you think. Let me explain. So if you have your client and they get diagnosed with cancer, hope not, but if that happened, we're going to pay out 5,000. That same client has a heart attack or a stroke, another 5,000. And let's say they get diagnosed with another critical illness that's covered, another 5,000. That's $15,000 this policy can pay. We will pay in every single category. Now, more than likely 5,000 may not be enough. And I agree, it's not enough most of the time. Let's look at what other benefits we have here. Okay, so we can look at guarantee issue, meaning there are no medical questions, up to $10,000. And that's still going to be less than $9. But let's say your client says, "Hey, listen, or you do a needs analysis. Hopefully, you do that. Okay, what are your expenses? If you're out at work for 3 months due to an accident, how much do you need? Let's say he needs 50,000. Okay, if we look at 50,000, yes, there's going to be medical questions here, simplified issue, as it says there. But look at the premium. It's not expensive. It's $1 a day, roughly. It's really not expensive. Okay, premiums do vary with this program based on age. This is the critical illness, not the accident one. So I'm going to keep it simple. Let's just do 10,000, right? Keep it under $9. It's going to be guarantee issue. When you do this application, it's going to be very fast. So let's go back and add the cart. There you go. And now let's go. You can do a couple things right now. You can send this to the customer. Don't do that. Or you can continue the shopping cart. Do that. Okay. Why? Because we want to make sure we close this sale. Here, you are giving them two policies. You can have 2, 3, 4, 5 different policies on the same application. In this case, it's two policies, going to be one application. But it's more than just two policies. I look at the coverages. Here, Accident Wise has coverage for accident, of course, hospital, emergency room, urgent care, etc. But it has an additional coverage. $10,000. It's going to be paid out to the beneficiary if that person dies in an accident. That's an additional coverage. I look at it as two coverages. Okay, so we're at 2. Critical illness, cancer, heart and stroke, and other critical illnesses that are covered. 3. 3 plus 2, 5, right? So you're giving them 5 coverages with 2 policies, 1 application. Very simple. Now, your client needs dental, you can add a dental plan. They need a vision plan, you can add a vision plan. They need a life insurance policy, $25,000 guaranteed for 10 years, 10-year term. Very simple, less than $8. You can add that. Life insurance, of course, will have medical questions, just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and continue with what we picked. Okay, so we go all the way down here. And again, you can send this to your customer or you can start the broker assisted application. Do this. Start the broker assisted application. You want to make sure you close this sale. You can do the application 2 ways. My suggestion is you do it the easiest way. This is not the easiest way. This is your traditional application where you're going to email or text the application to the client for signature. And you probably have heard, I didn't get the email, I can't open the email, I didn't get the text, etc. All that goes away when you use this, the easiest application. This is our assisted application security questions signature. 2 security questions and the answers to security questions will suffice as your client's signature. Makes life much easier, gives you much control. You're going to make sure that application is submitted, right? And processed. It's not going to go by the wayside because the client never signed it. It's not going to take 2 weeks for them to sign it. No, you're going to do that right now and make sure that this person gets insured or gets applies, gets processed, and gets insured. And in this case, it's going to be for next day effective date. Excuse me. I'm going to use myself as an example. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay. Right here, you're going to tell the client 2 security questions, and the answers to security questions will suffice as your signature. Do you agree? Yes. Let's go ahead and continue. By the way, everything we're doing on this application with these 2 products are guarantee issue. We're going to be doing this application in 2 or 3 minutes max. You'll be able to do it in 2 or 3 minutes max. When you have products that have medical questions, obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. Okay, so here, add a beneficiary. You would do that here. We're not going to do that right now because we want to zip through this, but definitely do that for your client. Now, something that's missing here, Social Security. We don't ask for a Social Security number. We don't need a Social Security number. There are some states that do have a little box here that says Social Security number, but they don't have the asterisk, meaning you don't need to supply it. Okay, we don't need it. Whether the client has one or not, or simply doesn't want to give it to you, that's fine. Let's go ahead and continue. You do need an address. Okay, 80. I'm going to use this one. Let's go ahead and continue. All right, there's going to be like, I think, 2 or 3 questions on this application, and none of them have to do anything with medical, right? Accident. Is there another accident policy that will remain in force when this one is effective? No. Okay, and then critical guard. Is there a policy for $75,000 for critical illness with another company that will not be terminated prior to this one's taken, this one becoming effective? No. Are you replacing existing coverage? No. Continue. We're almost done with the application, by the way. Summary, here you go. This gives you a summary. Remember, we're giving them 5 coverages, 2 policies, 1 application. No medical questions, by the way. Look at the premium for all that. It's pretty good. Okay, continue. Of course, the higher the benefit, the higher the premium. I do suggest that you do needs analysis and you determine what is the best option for your client. Okay. Payment method. I highly suggest you do this electronic fund transfer. Why? Retention. Try everything or always make sure you do everything so that the client pays through electronic fund transfer through their bank account. Why? Because retention is much higher. As a matter of fact, all of our bonuses are tied into this right here, electronic fund transfer. You'll see that in just a minute. Okay, I used to tell clients, you have 2 ways to pay. You can pay with your checking account or your savings account. Okay, let's see here. Let's just use an example. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. We have 2 more screens and we're almost done. Okay, here you're going to email the application to your client. Doesn't have to sign it, just so they have a copy. And on the last screen, review, sign, and submit. Want to view the application? We kept it really simple today, 2 guarantee issue policies. So we got through that application super fast. Okay. Does your client want to receive everything via email? All documents? All you do is that. Scroll down for a little bit more. And you've got your security questions. This is going to be your client's signature right here. Pick one of 5. What was your high school mascot? Green. Okay. What is your father's middle name? Okay. This is your client's signature. That's it. Very important. Tell them to remember the question, remember the answer. If you call client services, customer service, and you can't answer that, if they ask you, they may not talk to you or your client, that is. Okay, let's scroll down. You click here. That's your signature as an agent. That's it. One more click. That policy is submitted and it's going to be processed for a next day effective date. You're getting all 5 coverages. All right. 2 policies, 1 application, no medical questions. Very affordable for the client. Very good commission levels. Make sure you meet your client's needs. Chances are they're going to need higher benefits than what we just did right here. Okay. So anyways, that is how you do it. Right now, I'm going to get out of here. Let's look at bonuses. We got 3 bonuses. Okay. Number 1 is a first 15 bonus. If you are in, you're going to qualify for one of the 3. You don't qualify for all 3. One of the 3 based on your current status as an agent. If you got contracted prior to April 1st of this year, April 1st of 2025, prior to April 1st of 2025, and have not or did not sell any UH1 products till after April 1st of this year, this applies to you. You can make up to $7,500 in bonuses to your in addition to your commissions. Policies have to remain effective for 90 days. Okay. You have till December 31st. You have more than 5 months if you qualify for this one specifically. Okay, remember, if you're contracted prior to April 1st of this year and did not sell any UH1 policies prior to that date. Okay. Ancillary, you can make up to $1,500. Okay. Accident, critical illness, dental, um, hospital-wise, etc. This is the big one. Health Protector Guard. We did this training last 2 weeks ago. It is recorded, so if you need to go back, Carmen can tell you where to find that. So Health Protector Guard. You do 5 applications, $1,000. You do 15 applications, $6,000. This is a medical plan. It's a fixed indemnity plan with some limitations, but it is a solution for many, many people who are not going to be eligible for ACA coverage, don't have a social security number, don't qualify for a subsidy, don't want to pay those $700, $800 for coverage, want to save a good $200, $300, $400 a month. Look at this product. Look at the brochure. Look at the training. This is an excellent product, okay? You're going to have a huge need for it, specifically if you have a lot of ACA coverage or a lot of clients that have ACA coverage. Okay, again, this is April 1st, prior to April 1st contract, and did not sell any UH1 policies before April 1st of this year. This next one is very similar, but this is a new broker bonus. It's the same amount, up to 7,500. The key here is that it goes for 120 days after your contract date. This is for people or for agents that got contracted after April 1st of this year. As of your contract date, you have 120 days to qualify. How do you qualify? Well, it's the same thing right here. Same exact thing. 15 apps on Health Protector Guard, you can make 6,000. 15 apps on ancillary and supplemental coverages, you can make up to 1,500. Okay. Vision's not covered on any or does not count for any of our bonuses plan. I don't think the life insurance does either. Everything else does. Okay. So one thing I was going to mention, yep, it's a 90 days. You have to, policies have to be vigilant for 90 days. And on all of them, I forgot to mention on the other one, to maximize your bonus, EFT, there it is, electronic fund transfer. You have to do everything you can for that client to pay it through their bank account. It's in their best interest, your best interest, and our best interest. Okay. You want to have good retention. It's one of the best ways to guarantee yourself good retention. All right. And lastly, oh, that's what I was going to say. This is from the date of contract. You have 120 days. So, an example, if you're contracted today, today's the 23rd, your contract date starts today. You have 120 days from today to qualify. If your contract date was June 1st, you had 120 days from June 1st to qualify. Okay. So that in that case, the clock is ticking. Let's go look at the last one, and I will finish with this one. Those of you that have been selling with us, we didn't forget about you. We have our what we used to call our quarterly bonus because it was every 3 months, but now it goes every 4 months. So this one started May 1st, goes through August 31st. We just had one that ended, well, we had one that ended April 30th. There may be some of you that did qualify for that. This one's a little different. You do need to have 20 eligible policies submitted, and then it's retroactive to the first policy. Okay, so 20 is the baseline, 20 policies. If you scroll down, it can be a combination of any one of these. It could be 5 dental, 5 critical guard, 5 accident wise, etc. Once you get to 20, you go back to policy number 1 and we start paying you out. If you do 20 health protector guard policies, it's $150 per application. If you do 30, there's no limit on how many you can do here. Multiply that times 30. Do the math. It can be a pretty big number. Again, EFT, very important. The only one that's going to pay you anything if you don't use EFT is this one, and it only pays you half. Okay. So again, this is the what we call our journey to success. Just some fancy name they gave it. Okay. So that is going to be through the 31st of this year. This is for agents that have been selling with us regularly. Okay. Actually, this might apply to most of you. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I have covered everything I was going to cover today. We do have a few minutes left. I'm going to open it up to questions. I don't know if there's any questions in the, well, in the chat. Oh, here it is. There is one question in the chat. Maria is asking, what type of license do we need to sell this type of policy? Health insurance, a health license. If you're going to sell our life insurance policy, then you do need a life license. But no, with the accident and the critical illness and dental and hospital and critical and health protector guard can all be sold with a health license. Okay. That's the only question I see here. Are there any other questions? Anybody want to raise their hand or come off mute and ask any question you may have?
George is one more. It says, if you choose more amount, how is the pre-qualification process?
For which policy? I didn't see
Vivian,
that question here. Are you talking about the critical guard?
critical guard, yes.
Critical guard. Okay. So for critical guard, depending on, and let's go back quickly to, oh, that's not it. Give me a second here. See if I can go back to the application. I think I can. I can backtrack up quite a bit here. Okay, so here's critical guard, right? We picked this one to quote it for the client. Let's go look at the details. So critical guard, and we basically put 10,000. That's what we went with. Very economical. Look at the premium. But if the client chooses a higher amount, which you can look here, anything from 15,000 to 100,000, there's going to be medical questions. If your client's healthy, no big deal. Answer the medical questions, give him the coverage he needs. If you go with 50,000, again, we're looking at a male age 40. These premiums can change based on age. Okay, it's $30. Let's say that person says, I want the maximum benefit, $60 a month. It's basically $2 a day, and they're going to get $100,000 if they have a claim under the cancer category, another 100,000 under heart and stroke, and another 100,000 under other critical conditions. So it can pay in every category. So it's a maximum of $300,000 this policy could pay. We hope that they don't have to, because then that person unfortunately is not going to be in good shape. But yeah, you can go up to $100,000, and it goes to $60 in this example. If this person was 50 years old, then of course the premium would be higher. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Vivian. I'm not sure if it does. You can come off mute if you want.
So actually, what I was
Mhm.
asking was like the pre-qualification, like meaning the screening
Oh,
for
the
because
questions?
yeah,
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
know that the guaranteed issue, okay, of course, it doesn't have any issue. But if we go ahead and sell one of those that has like a $50,000 coverage,
hmm
what is the
I'll show
underwriting for
I'll
those
show you. I'll show
policies?
you. That's actually a good question. So here under sales tools and training, right here, brochures and sales tools. If you click in here, which we did that earlier, again, let's look at Florida and let's find the brochure critical guard. Here it is. So let's look at it in English. This is a brochure. This is just going to give you, what the benefits are. Okay. It's going to tell you how it works, et cetera, et cetera. But aside from the brochure, if you keep in this section, if you keep scrolling down over here, opportunities and resources, uh, here it is, sample application questions, critical guard. So if you click on this, it's going to tell you exactly what they're going to answer. I mean, what they're going to be asked. So if they answer yes to a couple of these, or depending on if they answer yes, if they answer no to everything, you're fine. They answer yes to something, depending on what it is, the policy may or may not get issued. It all depends. So if you're
Perfect.
look, yeah, if you're
That's
looking,
yes.
yeah, perfect. So you do have that available, and you can kind of pre-qualify your
Thank you. I
client.
appreciate that.
Absolutely, no problem. Okay, so again, that's here under sales and brochures. Once you put the state in, then you scroll down to where it says opportunities and resources, and that one in particular is here. If you want to look at some other ones, for example, hospital and doctor, these are the questions they're going to ask on the health protector guard policy. Okay, so if you want to see what they're going to ask them, that's there too. Okay, so you have a lot of tools at your disposal. Are there any additional questions? We have about a minute. Actually, I have a few more minutes left, but I think we've answered everything unless somebody else has.
Yeah, no, we don't have anything else in the chat. I don't know if Oscar or Inez or Beatriz have something.
Okay,
Any question?
doesn't look like it. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's take
I got a question. I got a question. What about
okay.
if sometimes the patient they are hospitalized and
Mm.
they're in observation? Does that cover it too, the observation?
We have a policy that covers observation, but that's our hospital-wise policy. Our
Okay.
hospital-wise policy, I'll show you. This one, it depends. If you're looking at accident, if you are admitted, if you go to the hospital due to an accident and you're in the emergency room, there's a benefit for that. It can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. If they admit you and it's that first time of the year that you're admitted to the hospital due to an accident, then you're going to get either 10,000 or 20,000. So it depends. You do have to be admitted with the accident policy. Now, we do have a policy which is our hospital wise. Let me find it here. Hospital-wise, here it is. This policy here, hospital-wise, which is guarantee issue, by the way, all three options, and I'm going to go straight to where the benefits are. Here you go. This is our hospital-wise policy. We did do this training, I think, about a month ago. And here you do have the hospital observation benefit. Let me make this a little bit bigger. See, right here, you do have the hospital observation benefit. So in answer to your question, if your client takes the hospital-wise plan, by the way, let's say they have the accident policy, accident-wise and hospital-wise, and are hospitalized, both policies are going to pay out. All right, so it's very common to sell both of these together. So here, for sickness or injury, if you're in the hospital, or you go to the hospital, you're there between 12 to 24 hours, as it says here, right? We're going to treat that as if you were admitted for 1 day, and that benefits $1,000. And we can pay that up to 4 times a year. So if they keep you for observation, but they don't admit you, and you're there between 12 and 24 hours, you file a claim, we pay that client $1,000 on all three of these. And if that happens 4 times in a year, we're going to pay $1,000 every time. So yes, we do have that policy that covers hospital observation, but that's, I mean, that benefit, but that's in our hospital-wise policy. So it's this policy right here, hospital-wise.
Okay. And what's the commission rate?
The commissions, you're going to have to talk to Carmen, or she can send that information to you. I don't have that information. But the commissions are very fair. Our commissions, do you do a lot, Oscar, with ACA coverage? Like, do you have a lot of clients with the
Yes.
ACA? Okay,
Yes.
ACA pays you a per dollar per month amount, correct?
Yes.
25 or whatever it is, right? Here, no, here it's a percentage. So the higher the premium, the higher the payout. So let's say it's 30%, hypothetically, first year. If that policy is $100, I'm just giving you an example here. That's $30 at 30% on a monthly basis. That policy is $200. That's $60 because it's based on a percentage, not on a per member per dollar amount. So when you do the math, and I was doing this earlier with some one of our other FMOs, when you do the math and you sell a lot of these ancillary products, you make a lot more selling this, selling accident, selling critical illness, selling health protector guards, selling hospital-wise. You make a lot more than you make just selling ACA policies. And I'm pretty soon I'm going to have a slide that I can show you where
Yeah.
you
Oscar,
literally make.
you can send me an email, and ask me for the table of the commissions, and I will send
Okay.
it to you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Okay. Okay, George, let's take a break. And I have a lot of people waiting on the room, in the waiting room. So
Okay.
let's take a couple of minutes and then we will be back to the Spanish section.
Okay, we'll start with Spanish. Um,
3:05?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Oscar, Beatriz, Inez, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. All right, you have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.